got some bad news for you from over here in Magaluf. Now, it seems that the amazing weather that we've been enjoying over the month of October is going to be coming to an end, which is such a shame because it feels more like August. Today it is 27 degrees, we've got some amazing sunshine. Just take a look behind me. It's very, very warm here, and it feels even warmer with the humidity too. But all this is going to change over the next couple of days. Unfortunately, we're going to be affected by the Storm Babet. I think that's the name of the storm. We've had so many storms recently, it's hard to keep up the names, but we're going to be getting the tail end of the storm coming down over the Mediterranean, which is going to affect things slightly if you're planning a very last minute holiday coming out here to catch the end of the season. So just looking over here, looking at the skies over here in Magaluf, the wind has picked up down here. You can see the clouds are moving rather quickly. We're expecting high winds over the next few days and stormy seas too. So if you're hoping to book boat trips over here, just make sure that they're actually going to be running, because quite often, and more often than not, if we are going to be having stormy seas, then the boat trips are going to be cancelled. So in this video, we're going to take a walk along Magaluf's seafront here. We're going to talk about what the weather is going to be like, and also what you can expect if you're coming over here for the final weeks of the season. I'm also going to give you some suggestions of things to do here, not just in Magaluf but also island wide as well, because we are going to be experiencing a slight drop in temperatures too, as well as the possibility of high winds and also some rain and possible thunderstorms too, which may well be blowing across the island. So the first place to start is if you do catch a rainy day or a very windy day and you can't go to the beach, and of course the bars and the restaurants are going to be open down here in Magaluf and right across the resorts all the way up until the end of the season. Some of these bars and restaurants are going to try and stay open a little bit later on beyond the season as well, but you're still going to find plenty of places to eat and drink and to watch the weather as well, which could be quite spectacular if we do get a thunderstorm. Now, I'm really hoping that you're going to be able to get some beach days in if you are coming over. I'm pretty sure you will, because looking at the forecast going into the following week, well, we may have a few storms and a little bit of rain and a little bit of wind too. I do see some warmer temperatures returning into next week too, so into the third week of October. So don't worry too much. I'm pretty sure you will get plenty of sun and some beach time while you're over here for the end of the season. Now, as I'm coming through Magaluf, you are going to find a few places that have closed down already for the season. You're going to find a few hotels have closed too, but that really doesn't matter because there are still plenty of places that are open. Of course, you're not going to find Magaluf Strip to be really that busy for this time of year either. It's going to be nothing like the summer. So you're going to find a slightly older crowd out here. You're going to find a lot of families over here as well, getting in a late summer break. So you can see as we're coming down past Hadley's Beach Club, this is already closed for the season. I'm right outside the Sol Wave House Hotel. Now, during the summer, this was a very busy beach club. It had plenty of music pumping out. There was also the wave machine as well, but you're not going to find this open at this time of year. I'm just going to turn and look onto the beach here, and you're just going to see how quiet it is for the end of the season. Now, I have more bad news for you. You can see right at the end of the jetty here down on Magaluf Beach that they've now removed the banana boats, which would take you out for a ride along the water. But just check out how quiet it is down here. Now, this really does look like the perfect place to come on a family holiday. If you're coming down for an October half term, you're just not going to get that same feeling that you do in July and August. If you are after some boat trips too, I can see the Blade Runner, which is right next to Bondi Beach, is still open, which is good news. Let's take a walk down onto the beach. So before we head on up to the jetty, I'm just at the bottom of Magaluf Strip. You can see actually that most of the strip is closed. You can see these little these new little restaurants here, these little eateries have now closed, and you're going to find actually a lot of the pubs as well along Magaluf Strip are going to be closed for this time of year. Now, if you do want to have quite a lively night out, then I would recommend heading down towards Santa Ponsa and checking out some of the Irish pubs. There are a few pubs over here in Magaluf too. You can check out Finnegan's, you've got Leo's Bar just around the corner too, or even head on over to Palma Nova and head down to Pappy's as well. That makes for a really good night out. But in the meantime, if you are coming over to Magaluf, then don't expect the strip to be busy at all. It's going to be much more of a quieter affair as the season begins to wind down. So I can see there's a tractor here perfectly poised at the ends of the beach. I'm wondering if that is going to be starting to collect some of the sunbeds that I can see are being piled up on the middle of Magaluf Beach. There are still plenty of sunbeds and beach umbrellas being left out for the end of the season. Okay, so as I head down towards the jetty, what else can you do over here if you're staying in the Palma Nova area and the weather isn't so great? Well, over here in Magaluf you're going to find quite a few shops, particularly around where you're going to find the hanging swimming pool, so at the inside Melier. It's also worth visiting the House of Kathmandu theme park. So the opening hours at the House of Kathmandu have changed a little bit from peak season, from during the summer. It's open from 10 in the morning, but it now closes at 6 rather than at 10 p.m. But this is a great place to come down here in Magaluf if you're looking for something to do and that rain does descend on Mallorca. Just looking down to the right hand side of the beach, you can see how busy it is down here. I can see in the distance as well that the Britannia jet ferry as well is still running. I can see it is just moored further over in the distance. Let's look to my left here. And the water over here on Magaluf Beach is looking as blue and as turquoise as usual, with these clouds starting to roll in. I mean, it's an absolutely stunning day over here, but my goodness, you can feel the weather is about to change. Check out the winds on the water. So while we can see some pedalos out in the distance here, out on the water, if it does get very windy down here and that wind is expected to pick up, you may find that these pedalos are not being rented out on the days that you do want to visit, so just do bear that in mind. So you're probably looking behind me here and wondering what on earth to pack if you're coming over here for these final few weeks. Well, from just looking at the weather forecast and looking at what the temperatures are going to be like, we're going to see daytime highs of around 24 degrees. It could get as low as 20 degrees. So also bear that in mind. You may want to bring out something like a fleece or a hoodie for daytime. You may want to bring out a pair of jeans as well, particularly if it's going to get wet too. Also for the evening, I can see on some of the evenings we're going to get evening lows of 13 to 14 degrees, so you're definitely going to need a light jacket if you're coming out. Although really it may still actually feel like summer to you if you're coming from the far reaches of Northern Europe. This may actually be warmer than your summer, so just bear that in mind too. Okay, so what else can you expect to enjoy if you're coming over here to Mallorca and the weather isn't as beautiful as you can see behind me? Well, if you check out the link at the end of this video and in the description text below, I have a route going around Palma Old Town. Now, it's a very simple route that you can follow. There's a Google Maps link, you just have to follow that too. You'll get to see the very, very best of Palma Old Town, so definitely go and check that out. Go and visit Palma. It's one of the most beautiful cities in Europe too, and you're going to get a little bit of history and culture, and also the opportunity to take some really nice photos too. Now you can really feel that wind picking up around me, so if you would like to see more about the things to do in the rain while you're over here for these final weeks of October, then do check out these videos appearing here and here on YouTube. Don't forget to consider subscribing if you haven't done so already, and you can find me in the Facebook group and on my Instagram, also called Mallorca Under the Sun. Thank you very much for watching. Share any positive experiences you have over here in Mallorca for these final weeks of October over on the Facebook page too. We'd love to see them. Okay everyone, thanks very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Goodbye for now.